Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Thursday, September 17th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, the big news is today's the first day of the conference. Reception is going to start soon, and Dr. Paul Craig Roberts will be here in Kingston, New York. This is a big one. And of course, on Sunday, if you can't make the conference, please get here for the big rally that'll be kicked off by Ralph Nader to Occupy Peace. And today's also a big day. It's what everybody's been waiting for how long? How long have they been talking about this? At least a month. Will the Fed raise rates? Will they keep them the same? Will the Fed raise rates? Will they keep them the same? Remember, they've not raised them since 2006. And I'm not real good at math. It's 2015. It's almost 10 years. As they rob we the people with record low interest rates, pensioners, retirees, everybody that wants to try to save money, screw you. We got to keep Ponzi going. So here was the lead up. In today's Wall Street Journal, Wall Street has doubts about Fed lifting rates. Oh, they do. Let's see why. They're skeptical that the Federal Reserve will raise short-term interest rates Thursday, today, underscoring persistent doubts about the health of the global economy. And financial markets following 7 years of easy policy. Financial markets. F the people, we got the financial markets to take care of. It's a gambling game, man. They just say it right here. Who cares about the financial markets? Hey, gamblers do. Investors. I have to be proper. And that was the story, one after another. Doubts. Financial Times. Doubts. So, they were right. Remember what the numbers I read you yesterday? The majority of the traders, or it's with a D, but it's actually with a T, only 20-something% thought that they would raise rates. The economists were wrong. So, they didn't raise rates. So, Ponzi lives. The financial markets will stay alive for however they could keep inflating the biggest bubble in world history. So, why did they keep them flat and not raise them? Goes back to the global economy. It's what I've been saying. The morons like to blame it on China. Nah, China's going down because everybody else is. And, as I mentioned, if they raise rates and all of these commodity-rich countries are suffering because their commodity prices are low and their currencies are crashing with the plunging prices of commodities, and they borrowed all of this dough, and now they have to pay it back with higher interest rates. If the dollar goes up when they raise rates, it would cause a worse calamity. That's why they didn't raise rates, as I see it. Global factors weigh on Fed rate setters. That was today's Financial Times before they raised the rates. Future prices suggest 1 in 4 likelihood of quarter-point rate increase. And here's why, right across from it. What I was saying for days, and in your trend alert, emerging market groups fear further turmoil. Already battling a slowdown in China and a slump in commodity prices, many such companies who borrowed heavily in foreign currencies from the trillions of dollars of extra liquidity. Isn't that nice lingo, man? Trillions of dollars of extra liquidity as we rob every penny from you. Created under the Fed's ultra-loose monetary policies are at the mercy of a negative turn in investor sentiment, gambler sentiment. Not only would rates rise, increasing the cost of refinancing their debt piles, it would also be likely to spur further devaluations in emerging market currencies, already sharply down over the past year. Blah, 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 blah. We've been saying this for how long? So, they didn't raise rates. So, the beneficiaries will be the hedge funds. Yes, those high-frequency traders with a T. T-R-A-I-T, that T, not D-E-R-S. And the private equity groups and all of the other big deal makers. Because OECD trims growth forecast on back of China concerns. Again, going back to China. The combination of sharp contraction in China and a shock in the financial markets has the potential to derail the global recovery, the OECD has cautioned as it trims its forecast for global growth. How many times do I have to read this? Whether it's the World Bank, the IMF, the OECD, it's always an FU, you know what. They're always lowering the growth forecast with
bullshit detected. Take precautions.
Yeah, because you want to hear more bullshit? Why not? Because Yellen was out there screaming bullshit when they announced it. Ms. Facha Brute, they have to be more polite. Doubts emerge over Japan's Abenomics. Big story. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But here's the news, what Abenomics did. The Nikkei stock average is 80% above where it stood when Mr. Abe took office. That's right, the gamblers win. It's as clear as day. That's all it is, because Japan will struggle to grow in the current quarter after shrinking 1.3% the previous quarter. Down, down, down. GDP, the only people that are benefiting from this are the filthiest of the filthy rich. Hey, it's the way of the world. Investors lose faith in Beijing's official growth figures. You mean they're lying? They're just becoming like everybody else. Leave them alone. Everybody lies. It's the way of the world. Be a fraud. Make up numbers. Create quantitative easing. 0% interest rates. Many believe statistics are being overstated during the current slowdown. No, just because they go in with that team over there at the very end as the Shanghai's failing to prop it up. Oh, Mr. Shanghai was low last night. And everybody was waiting like this. And over in the States, after they heard about keeping the game going and Ponzi alive, injecting them with that monetary heroin, well, market shot up. And then it went down. And so too did Earl. But gold went up. S&P blames downgrade of Japan's debt on Abenomics. Standard & Poor's has slashed its rating on Japan's debt. Economic support for Japan's sovereign creditworthiness has continued to weaken in the past 3 to 4 years, the agency said. How much more proof do people need that this flood of cheap money is doing nothing but enriching the hedge fund players, private equity groups, and all the other big deal makers? And speaking of deal makers, U.S. hints at adding to financial aid for Ukraine. Isn't that great? More dough for the murderers over there. Why should we get anything over here when they got deals to make? Yeah. It's a banking takeover. Hey, how about that new guy you got over there in Australia? Yeah. The new prime minister, the fourth in 2 years, takes the helm. Yeah, Malcolm Turnbull. Turnbull or bullshit? Because here's the story, man. It's a simple one. Managing director, partner, whatever term they want to use, of the Goldman Sachs gang. Yeah, let's add them up, all right? Now we got Turnbull shit over there in Australia. They did a coup. That was it, man. Oh, the prime minister will make a deal. Boom, overnight. Abbott's gone, Costello's gone, Bull's in. Yeah. That's a democracy for you, I tell you. You know what? I think we should bomb Australia. How dare they overthrow the other prime minister? Yeah, Turnbull has to go. Hey, why don't Hillary scream that one out? Okay, Goldman Sachs, Australia. Head of the Bank of England, Mark Carney. Yeah, the carnival man, Goldman Sachs. Hey, how about the head of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi? Queen? Maybe not, maybe yes. Hey, who knows? We should tie him up with Bruce Jenner and find out. Mario Draghi, head of the Goldman Sachs gang before that. Bank of England, Goldman Sachs cat. Yeah, that's before he left Canada. Hey, who was the guy that gave us the chef we're too big to fail? You remember? Frankenstein. Oh, no, Henry Paulson, Boris Karloff. I get them mixed up. The former head of the Goldman Sachs gang. Who was the low-life little man who derailed and killed and put on track to the Glass-Steagall Act? Robert Rubin. He's the guy that ruined it. Yeah, and then he got a job with Citigroup after they merged. Citibank, Smith Barney, Travelers, and he travels right there after Clinton administration. Yeah, to $150 million payoff. Hey, that was no payoff. That was his intelligence. Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. It's a bankism, man. How much clearer does it have to be with everything I just went through? The banks are running the world. Hey, I know, calm down. But remember, if Jesus Christ could beat them out of them money changers out of there with a whip and become violent for the Prince of Peace, I could become angry at seeing what's going on and the bankers destroying the country. And, of course, the other news is they had another show last night, the presidential reality show on CNN. And I have to tell you, we should up the price of the TrendsJournal. I had to suffer through that thing for 3 hours, watching morons, lowlifes, one after another. I have to tell you, Rand Paul was the best of the bunch when it came to talking about war, because I want to read you something about war. And you know how I always say, if only the women were in charge, because Carly Fiorina, yeah, she was the conqueror, according to the Bloomberg. So, among the questions they asked, a bunch of stupid, moronic questions about personality, have nothing to do with anything serious. What a freak show. It was the presidential reality show. It was, man. Okay, they ask her about what's going on with Russia. And she goes in, having met Vladimir Putin, if I may, I wouldn't talk to him. We've talked way too much to him. What I would do immediately is rebuilding the Sixth Fleet. I would begin rebuilding the missile defense program in Poland. I would conduct regular aggressive military exercises in the Baltic states. Maron, she got a lot of work, man. She's gonna be building, she'll be like Rosie the Riveter, man, rebuilding the Sixth Fleet. And a missile defense, well, she must have some skills doing all this stuff. I'd probably send a few thousand more troops into Germany. What, are they going to attack Germany? Oh, you mean in the bases? I'm sure the Germans would love it. Yeah, along with the other migrants coming in, why not? Refugees, I got to call it what it is. Vladimir Putin would get the message. Oh, yeah, he'd hear you loud and clear. By the way, the reason it is so critically important that every one of us know General Soleimani's name is because Russia is in Syria right now, because the head of the Quds force traveled to Russia and talked to Vladimir Putin into aligning themselves with Iran and Syria to prop up Bashar al-Assad. How dare they prop up the sovereign leader of that country? Hey, Assad must go, huh? Carly. We could rebuild the Sixth Fleet. By the way, Russia denied having that meeting. We could rebuild the Sixth Fleet. I will. Oof, I know you're going to rebuild the Sixth Fleet. You're going to build it. She's going to be working on own all the time, 24/7 on the rebuilding. We haven't. We could rebuild the missile defense program. We haven't. I will. We could also, to Senator Rubio's point, give the Egyptians what they've asked for, which is intelligence. Guess what, Carly? Ain't going to get no intelligence from you or Rubio or Cruz or Trump or any of them. And particularly not from the military. Because I just read yesterday how they lied about the intelligence. And everyone wants to keep these failed programs going. Show me a victory and we can speak. But they go on. We could give the Jordanians what they asked for. Bombs and material. Yay! Bombs and material. And we have not supplied it. I will. We could arm the Kurds. Hey, the Turks will love that, man. Woof. They've been asking us for 3 years. All of this is within our control. Yep. So there you go. If only the women were in charge. Yeah, I could see the ticket, man. Hillary and Carly. Clinton and Fiorina. More war. Isn't it lovely? Again, it makes I'm tired of this gender stuff. Except, of course, Bruce gender. I mean, can't wait till he turns into a mermaid. I'm tired about race. I'm tired about the religions. It's about people. This woman is psychotic as any guy, man. And Obama, hey, didn't he do wonders for the black people in this country, huh? You're a lot poorer now. Race relations are soured. Yep. And all these guys talking about God. Huckabee, Cruz, yeah, what God they talking about? So that's it. The conference starts very soon. Again, if you can't make it, be here for the rally. It's going to be a big one. History being made. History before it happens. Right here in Uptown Kingstown. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.